Hello and welcome to Living in Lapland. I'm Sami.
And I'm Tina. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We are so happy you found us.
So, Living in Lapland is a podcast where we just talk. We talk about everyday life here in Finnish Lapland. The seasons, the nature, the traditions, the little moments that make this place so special.
And it's great for anyone who wants to practice their English, because we keep things simple and natural. Just two people chatting, like friends over a cup of coffee.
Exactly. And today we have a really good topic. Something that is honestly one of my favorite moments of the whole year up here.
Mine too, honestly. We're talking about the ice leaving the Tornio River. The river is starting to open up, and it is such a big deal around here.
It really is. I mean, for people who have never experienced a real winter, like a proper, long, dark, frozen Lapland winter, it might be hard to understand just how huge this moment feels.
Right. It's not just the river, it's like everything is waking up. The whole world is waking up.
Yeah, perfectly said. So, Tina, have you been down to the river lately? Have you seen it?
Oh, yes. I was there just the other day, actually. And it's hard to describe if you haven't seen it. The ice is all broken up now, these big chunks of ice. Some of them are huge, just moving slowly down the river.
Yeah.
And the sound? Oh gosh, the sound is something else. It's this deep creaking and cracking sound, and then you hear the ice scraping against itself. It's kind of powerful. Like nature is just doing its thing and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's exactly it. You just stand there and you watch and listen, and you feel very small. In a good way, I think. It reminds you how powerful nature is.
Totally. And it's also beautiful, right? The light this time of year is so different to winter. The sun is actually up for many hours now. And when it hits those pieces of ice on the water, they just sparkle and shine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the color of the water changes too. In winter under the ice it's dark, but now you start to see this kind of gray-blue color, and sometimes it almost looks like it's alive, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It looks alive because it is alive again.
Yes, exactly right. So I want to ask you, do you have a personal memory connected to this time of year? Like something from when you were a kid, maybe?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I grew up here, so this was always a big thing. I remember going with my dad to the riverbank when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. And we would just stand there and watch the ice move. And I remember my dad said to me, he said, "Every year the river breaks free, and every year spring comes. You can always count on it." And I was a little kid, but I remember feeling like, okay, that's something safe, something you can trust.
Oh, that's a really lovely thing to say. And it's true, isn't it? No matter how hard the winter is, the river always opens up again. It's kind of like a promise.
Yeah, a promise from nature. I love that. What about you, Sami? Do you have memories of the ice going?
Oh yes, many memories. One thing I remember is that when I was young, the whole town sort of moved to the river. Like, people would come out of their houses, friends would meet, neighbors would talk.
Right, yeah.
Because in winter, honestly, people stay inside. It's cold, it's dark, and sometimes you go days without seeing your neighbors. But then when the ice starts to go, suddenly everyone appears. It's like everyone wakes up at the same time.
Oh my gosh, yes. That is so true. You can feel it in the town. The energy changes. People are smiling more, they stop and talk for longer. There's this lightness in the air.
Totally. I think after such a long winter, people are just so happy to be outside. And the daylight is just incredible right now. You know, we've gone from those really short winter days to now having so many hours of light. It feels almost unreal.
It really does. And your body just responds to it, you know? You have more energy. You want to go outside. You want to do things.
Exactly. And speaking of doing things, this is also the time when people start thinking about fishing, right? Because once the river opens up, fishing season is not far away.
Oh yes, fishing is huge here. The Tornio River is actually really famous for salmon fishing. Like, people come from all over Finland, and even from other countries, to fish here in the summer.
Yeah, it's one of the best salmon rivers in Europe, actually. And a lot of local people here, they have been fishing this river for generations. It's part of the culture, part of the identity.
For sure. I know families where Like the grandfather fished here and the father fished here, and now the kids are learning. It's this beautiful tradition that keeps going.
Yeah, and it also brings people together, you know. There's something very social about fishing here. You stand on the riverbank with your friends or your family, and you just be together. You don't always need to talk a lot.
Right, that's very Finnish, actually. Ha! Just being together quietly. That's enough.
Ha, yes, very Finnish. We are not always the most talkative people, but we know how to enjoy a moment together. And the river gives you that moment, I think.
Absolutely. And it's also interesting because the Tornio River is actually on the border between Finland and Sweden. So the river belongs to both countries in a way. And people on both sides feel this same connection to it.
That's a really good point. The twin cities, Tornio on the Finnish side and Haparanda on the Swedish side, they are just across the river from each other. And this time of year, when the ice goes, it affects both communities equally. It's a shared experience.
Yeah, I think that's something really special about this area. The river connects people rather than divides them, which is kind of unusual when you think about borders, right?
Completely. Usually a border means a separation. But here, the river has always been more of a meeting place. People from both sides have fished together, traded together, married each other. The river is the heart of this whole region.
I love that. The heart of the region. That's a perfect way to put it. So, can we talk a little bit about what spring actually feels like here compared to, I don't know, what people might imagine from TV or movies?
Oh, good question. Because I think a lot of people have this idea that spring just, arrives one day and suddenly everything is green and warm. But here it is much more gradual and much more dramatic in its own way.
Yeah.
Like right now, there is still snow on the ground in many places. But at the same time, the sun is really strong and the days are long. So you get these moments where the sun is hitting the snow and everything is brilliantly white and shining. It can actually hurt your eyes a little bit.
Oh, yes. You definitely need sunglasses, which feels funny when there is still so much snow around, you know. Like sunglasses in a winter landscape. But yes, you really need them.
Exactly. And the temperatures, they can be quite changeable. Like during the day in the sunshine, it can actually feel warm. You might even take your coat off for a little while. But then in the evening, it drops again, maybe below zero. So you always need to be ready for both.
Right. Always be prepared. That's kind of the motto for living in Lapland, I think. In any season.
Very true. But honestly, even with the cold mornings and the mud and all of that, and there is a lot of mud in spring, by the way.
Oh, so much mud. Yes.
So much mud. But even with all of that, I genuinely think spring in Lapland is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. The quality of the light, the silence, the feeling of everything starting again. It's hard to explain, but it fills you up, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. It fills you up. Yes. That's the feeling. After all the darkness of winter, when the light comes back and the river opens up, you just feel full again. Like hopeful.
Hopeful. Yeah. And I think that's maybe something people everywhere can relate to, even if they don't live in Lapland. That feeling of coming out of something hard and into something new and better. Spring is that feeling, just made visible.
Oh, that's beautifully said, Sammy. I think that's a perfect note to end on, actually. Spring made visible. I love that.
Well, before we go, for our listeners who are learning English, we just want to say that whatever level you are at, we are so glad you are here and listening. Every episode you listen to, you are learning new words, new expressions, new ways of speaking naturally. So keep going. You are doing great.
Absolutely. And if you want to, you can listen to this episode again, maybe even a second or third time. Each time you listen, you will catch something new. That's how language learning works.
That's such good advice. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today on Living in Lapland. It's always a joy to share this place with you.
It really is. And we will be back soon with another episode about life up here in the north. Until then, take care of yourselves, enjoy the season wherever you are, and we will see you next time.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.